Hi, I'm Andy and this is my channel Make It Sew. Today I'm doing my first ever Friday Sews vlog. Thank you to Jen from Today in Jen's Sewing Room who created the hashtag Friday Sews. If you go on YouTube and search hashtag Friday Sews, it'll bring up all of the sewing community who are joining in with these vlogs. So thank you, Jen. The first item or pattern I'm going to talk about is the Nina Lee t-shirt that I made. It's the Summer Essentials, the Fleet Top. The pattern only cost £2.50 and I've got a dog coming in. It's 11 pages to print off on a PDF, so it doesn't cost much to print out yourself. Easy to put together, and it's a really easy pattern. It's literally, I'll show you if I can find my page without rustling too much. So it's literally front, back and the neckband. So it's really easy. It ranges from a size 6, which is a 32-inch bust, to a size 20, which is a size 46-inch bust. So not too bad on the size inclusion. I made a 16. I didn't have to adjust anything. It's a small boxy t-shirt, but I like a bit more cover around my midriff, so I did add another 1.5 inches, which is the seam allowance. I added that on again before I folded it over just to make it slightly longer. I suppose I should show you it really. There you go. So it's exactly the same front and back, and then you've got the lovely little neckband. For the hem, they tell you to fold it over by 0.5 centimetre and then fold it over by another 1.5. But I just found it was a lot neater to fold it over by 2 centimetres and then tuck it in half and sew it up. So that's my holiday, excuse my chair, my holiday t-shirt made with some of the Knighton fabric I showed you in my last vlog. My second pattern I'm going to show you that I've made is from Sew So Easy, and it's called the Brief Encounter Dress. It's a free pattern aimed at confident beginners. If I show you the instructions, which are on this page and this page, they're quite basic, but I think that's the whole point. They expect you to know what you're doing. So with this one, they wanted you to put stay tape in the sleeves at the end or ribbon, and I did try ribbon, but it was horrendous. It just didn't sit very well with the fabric. It was quite stiff. So although it took me ages to unpick all the zigzag, I'll show you, I just literally sewed it in, and very luckily they haven't stretched out of place. I'll insert a picture here so you can see the whole dress, because it's a bit awkward on camera, but I didn't have to adjust anything. I did find the neckband caused me a few problems, and I did have the help of one of my friends from a sewing group I go to, and what we did was we basted it first rather than pin, because the pins just kept slipping out, and then I come home, sewed it, and it went really well, and I love it. It sits nicely, so I didn't have to put an extra neckband in because you're not meant to. The sizes this starts from, they do A to F, sorry, A to G even. I did an F. So the size A is the smallest, which was a 29-inch bust, 25-inch waist and 33 hip. The biggest size they go up to is the 41 bust, 37 waist and a 45-inch hip. So it's not the most size inclusive, but I think you might be able to adapt it. It was quite an easy make really, except for the neckband. The fabric's from Knighton Fabrics again. I only used 2 meters of fabric. The next make I've got to show you isn't an item of clothing, but I had to show you it because I love it. This is my chicken doorstop that I made with a lovely group I'm a member of, Beautiful Things Platinum Club. So we did a sew along, and the aim of it was to repurpose an item of clothing or use up some of your stash that you've already got, which is what I did because I've got so many fat quarters, I've got to use them for something. So we also had to give them a name and also a backstory. So my backstory and her name is, this is Nina, and she's the chicken that everyone goes to in an emergency. She doesn't make a drama out of a crisis. Most days she can be found sitting on top of the hen house looking for danger and ready to assist. So that's Nina. Right, my next make is another free pattern that I've had in my stash for absolute ages. So when I did my first Knighton Fabrics vlog, I showed you 4 different t-shirt materials, and I was going to do a totally different pattern. Then I thought, why stick at one pattern? I might as well try 4 separate ones. So this is the second one I've done so far, and this is the Walkley. You can have a t-shirt or a dress with this one. I'll show you the line drawings because it is literally one piece that you use front and back. It's from the MIY collection and I got it free with Simply Sewing, so it didn't cost me much, did it really, as it's been in my stash for a long while. I keep seeing people selling these and I think give it a go because it's so easy to make and it didn't take me long at all. So I used my lovely rainbow fabric turtle from Knighton Fabrics. Again, the neckband is literally, if I don't throw it at the camera, literally turning over and sewing. And I didn't use my overlocker for this one. I literally used some Maraflex Maraflex thread. It makes it easy. My overlocker can be a bit funny with thin jersey, and by the time I've spent hours trying to get the tension right, I might as well whip it up on my normal sewing machine with a normal sewing stitch with Maraflex because I absolutely love it. So that's the Walkley. My next make is another one that isn't an item of clothing. So a friend of mine had this joke. She sent me a photo of a bag. It was absolutely huge, saying that I should take that with me to the Knitting and Stitching show in October. And then I saw this pattern and I just thought, I've got to make it. So this is from Chalk and Notch. It's called the Sun Tote, and you can buy it, but as I subscribe to their newsletter, I got it free. I paid for this to be printed. As you can see, the pattern's on the envelope. It's from Flamingo Prints. You buy the pattern envelopes, they're £1 each, and she prints on it for free. It's really reasonable price as well. So, put your sunglasses on. It's a bit busy, but I love it. This is the tote bag. As you can see, it's huge. I did make the biggest size. It comes in 3 different sizes, and you have a big large pocket on the outside with an optional snap, and then inside you've got another pocket just inside there. I learnt a few things with this one. I don't know why, but I've never done flat felled seams, and this asked for it, and you reinforce them. I had to go on YouTube and watch an instruction video because from the instructions I couldn't really read it. I'm more of a visual learner, but it was a really lovely, easy make, and I can't wait to fill it with some goodies from the Knitting and Stitching show. Forgot to point out also that it's got 2 types of handles. You don't have to have both, but it's quite handy when your bag gets a bit heavy. You've got the choice. I'm not saying that I'm going to be buying lots of stuff at the Knitting and Stitching show, but it's only once a year, isn't it? Anyway, the fabric, I've still got loads left. It's from So Affordable Fabrics. It didn't cost me much at all. There's no stretch to it, and it's quite a stiff fabric. So any suggestions on a blazer pattern I can make that isn't too tight fitting? There is one on Ellie and Mac. It's the Everly blazer pattern. I haven't made it before, But if you can think of anything else, I've got loads left of this fabric, so I don't want to make it too in your face by doing a dress. So any suggestions, put in the comments below. So I finally got around to making my summer in New York from Seasons of East dress. Adele from Sofa Serenity started this off. I've also seen Cara from So Mad, and also Sequin Girly Creates, and I've been wanting to make it for ages, but I finally got round to it. The fabric, it's a twill, a wearable twill, but I have had some issues with it, unfortunately. First of all, I did exactly what Cara did from So Mad, and I sewed the sleeves the wrong way on the bodice, and it's only when I was sewing the back piece that I thought, this is way too big, what have I done wrong, I've cut it out wrong, what have I done? So I had to look at it again and found I'd done exactly the same as her. Then I tried to pin it up on Doris, my mannequin, and it was like doing fabric Jenga. We were just like trying to pin it all to get it to work, but eventually we got there. This is the pattern if you haven't seen it, and if you haven't seen it, I'm surprised because it's everywhere at the moment. I had to get the paper pattern because of the bag. Sorry, but it's so cool. So what did I do differently? First of all, I tried it on. I did what Cara, again from So Mad, did. She basted it all together to see how it fit, and I realised because this fabric was so slippery and hard to work with, I didn't need an invisible zip, so I omitted it. Also, it was very booby at the front, so I added another 2 inches to that. But I don't know if you can see it from the camera, but when I sewed it up and I did the hand stitching that they recommend around the neckline, all the fabric just started pulling, so I've got loads of white lines on it. Because of that reason, I sought some advice from someone, thank you, and said, did you hand sew the sleeves and the hem? And they said no, I used a machine. And I just thought, it's going to look so much neater. My hand sewing is not great, and so I did it all by machine. It fits really lovely. I'll insert a picture that I'm going to take, because at the moment all you've got is Doris, but the weather's been so hot I just didn't feel like doing it at the time. But I do love the pattern. The pattern's brilliant, but I won't be using this type of fabric again. Right, that's all my sewing projects. Just to say that that was over a fortnight, because I was going to do a Friday sews last week and I was full of cold. I've still got a head cold, but hopefully I don't sound as bunged up as I did then. So I was really fortunate. I entered a competition from another YouTube vlogger, Julie Sews Her Own Clothes, and I won a pattern, and it's called the Haley shirt. It says it's a relaxed fit shirt with 4 different sleeve choices, option at front and back shaping for a semi-fitted shirt, and plenty of opportunity for pops of colour. What I like about it is, instead of having size numbers, they've actually got names of ladies. I haven't quite worked out what mine is yet, but looking at it roughly, I would say I'm either Hannah or Guy. And the fabric that I won as well was this one. I won't be using it to make the shirt because it's quite drapey and light, but watch this space, I'll think of something. I'll give you a little sneak preview of what I'm in the middle of making. So I subscribe to Beyond the Pink Doors Think Pink box, and I absolutely love it. I've eaten the chocolate. I did do a quick YouTube short on it, which I was quite embarrassed about when I watched it again, but I was full of cold and I just thought I need to show it so I can wash the fabric and eat the chocolate. This is a sneak preview because I've already cut it up. It's a viscose jersey. We were given 2.5 meters of it. So I am making the McCalls M6884, and that is version B. I went to a new social group today. It's about an hour's journey for me, but I'd already been keeping in touch over Facebook until I could actually go, thanks to my shifts, and it couldn't have been nicer. I nearly cut the fabric out in a rush before I went, and I'm glad I didn't, because I was going to cut out the full length version, so I wouldn't have had enough. And also we had to do a little bit of fabric Jenga to get it all to fit in. But again, they were really lovely groups. So hi Walpole SewSocial, if any of you are watching, it was great to meet you, and I can't wait to see you in a couple of weeks' time. If you saw my previous Knighton Fabrics vlog, you'll know that I said I'm on a fabric ban. No one's told me to be on a fabric ban. I'm very much a free person when it comes to purchases, but I literally, before my Knighton Fabrics, I've got a confession. I'd been to Birmingham on the way back from our holiday and gone to the rag market, and then I discovered Barry's fabrics. So I spent quite a lot of money in there, and then obviously my Knighton haul as well. So I just decided, reality check, I've got all this fabric, I just need to start making stuff with it. I can't just collect it to look at. Anyway, since then, it's over a month. I've done pretty well. I am going to the knitting and stitching show, so obviously the ban will stop there, but if I have 2 months off of it, that's pretty good, and I might actually dent some of my stash. So all I've purchased this week is, do you know what it is? It's a tape measure, but it's to measure yourself accurately, so you don't have to have anyone else with you. So you put it around you, tuck it in, and then pull it into where your measurement is. It's from Amazon. It cost me about £3, but I just thought if it makes it more accurate, so I'm not like, oh yeah, I'm only a 32-inch waist, then it's a bit more realistic when I'm measuring up for my clothes. Last thing I wanted to say was thank you to Michelle, the menopausal sewer. She's recommended me on her vlog. I discovered Michelle through the Friday Sews Facebook group, so again, sewing community's coming together. Thank you so much for watching this. If you liked it, please let me know. Any comments, like I say, if you can suggest any blazer patterns, that'd be great. And if you want to subscribe, that'll be brilliant. Follow me on Instagram at MakeItSew2023, and hopefully I'll get another vlog up soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.